Esra, also called the Straw, also called the S-Roar. Anyways, this has become my new favorite gadget for the engineer. This thing is awesome. So it allows you to track with the when you right click, you control where the rocket goes. So as you can see, I'm aiming it at the helicopter. And it's so useful. It doesn't have any sort of bullet drop, or in this case RPG drop, like the other types of RPGs, rocket launchers. I guess they're technically called gadgets now. But it's really useful, and I wish more people would use them. They do take a little bit of getting used to. I am still trying to get down the. You have to have really good spatial awareness to use this, and that's really difficult in a game that you're viewing on a 2D monitor. But I've just been practicing with this, and once you get better at it, you can take out so many targets so much easier. If they're long range, like that tank down there, it's so easy, and it's so much easier than having to try to aim with my second favorite rocket launcher thing, which is the just regular RPG. It's so much easier. I'm not sure. I need to look into whether this one does more damage or the RPG does more damage. I have a feeling the RPG does a little bit more damage, not a whole bunch, but a little bit more damage than the S-Raw. The S-Raw is just a beast when it comes to taking out tanks. So you can just fire it like I did there, where you aim down the sight and you fire, and you can just hip fire, of course. But one of the things that makes the S-Raw so unique is that you can fire two rockets that'll still be guided by the same aim down the sight crosshair thing. So you fire one up like that, and then you fire another rocket. That way you can get two shots off much faster than you could with any other sort of RPG. And of course, not only is the S-Raw very good at taking out vehicles, but it also is great for taking out those pesky campers, infantry, mainly snipers when they're at long range. It's really fun to take them out when they're not really looking. So now we're going to transition into a colder, much more snowy environment. Now that December has begun and everyone's got to get ready for the snow. So that means we got to play more Operation Locker, right? No. this map is so bad in a couple different ways. I did say in a previous video that I really enjoyed this map, and I did in a certain way. I enjoyed the way it looks. I've always, no matter what game I've played, be it Skyrim, Call of Duty, and other previous Battlefield games, I love snow maps. They're always my favorite maps to play on. I just always love the environment, and I think it's really cool. It's different from the typical, jungle or urban environment that you see in a lot of shooters. And so usually I have sort of a disposition towards snowy maps. I think they're going to be really cool, really awesome. And usually they are. However, this map really isn't that great. It's very linear, and you end up sort of fighting in lanes, which works really well for games like League of Legends and MOBAs, and games of that type and of that sort. But in this game, if you're going to have lanes and you're going to be laning, then there needs to be some sort of flanking option. There needs to be some way that you can get past people that are spamming grenades, because that's what they really just turn into. In first-person shooters, people just keep spamming grenades. They'll have their ammo pouches right next to them, giving them a nice helpful supply of extra grenades to continue spamming. And that really just destroys this map. And that's the problem it has, and that's why whenever I have to play this map now, I just say, oh joy, can't wait till this round's done, because we're probably just going to lose anyways. It can go either way. So I really try to avoid this map as much as possible. And something else that's sort of funny is I ended up deciding to use a DMR. And in Battlefield 3, I felt that these DMRs were actually pretty useful. For example, sometimes in No-Shar Canals, when I'd be doing a team deathmatch or something like that, I'd take out the SKS and take advantage of its very low recoil and just go around, and I'd go on some pretty crazy kill streaks just in No-Shar Canals, team deathmatch, or something like that, and it was really fun. In this game, DMRs have been really weakened, and I can't say that's a good thing. I think they should be weak to a certain point. They shouldn't be as strong as a bolt-action rifle, obviously. But in these, the recoil is so great, and it takes so many shots to down someone. In my opinion, for many of these DMRs, they would be so much better if it just, the number of shots it took to take someone down was reduced by just one. That would make these so much better and make them a lot more sort of level with all the rest of the weapons that are in this game. A lot of these weapons do not take a long time to take someone down, and the DMR needs to be competitive with that. It needs to be able to take someone down just as fast, or have some sort of balance that allows them to be useful. Currently, I don't really see the use, and I think a lot of other players agree, because I rarely see anyone using a DMR. They're so rare, and those that are, they're the people that are up on some sort of purge just spamming it when they really shouldn't be. They're at extreme ranges and there's really no reason. So the DMRs, the smart players aren't really using them right now. So I think that sort of means something. And here is one of those rare occasions where I finally get to flank someone, and it is oh so satisfying, even though it's just two people. It is oh so satisfying when you kill these people that have just been holding a corridor forever, and you finally get around. Usually I don't really risk knifing. I find that too many people do that, and then they lose. They miss the kill because their buddy sees you knifing or something like that. I usually find it's best just take the person out as quickly as possible, and you can do pretty well. These things, these are so funny, these little metal detectors that I sort of use as cover here. They're actually pretty useful if you know how to use them, and if it's the beginning of a match and you don't know if someone's coming through them, they can be a really useful audio cue to know if someone's trying to sneak up on you or is trying to sort of push. So I usually try to avoid going through them. At first, when I first started playing this map, and I think they're in other maps, I can't really remember exactly, but I usually try to avoid them now that I know that smart players will actually use them to figure out whether someone's coming through, how many people are coming through. It beeps a certain number of times and for a different number of people that go through. On another note, sights. I really enjoy using the Cobra sight, and I haven't really found another sight that makes me feel as comfortable. So with the Cobra sight, you get a great little chevron, or whatever you call that little symbol that's in the middle of the red dot. That's really useful. It also doesn't take up too much of your screen. I like using sights that allow me to have good peripheral vision and make sure that I'm not missing anybody. And with the standard red dot sight, I often find that I get a little bit scared because there's a lot more blind spots associated with that sight. If I don't use the Cobra sight, usually I just use the other red dot sight that I think is the Chinese standard issue one. It might be called the Coyote. Yeah, I think it's called the Coyote sight. And so that's my sort of backup red dot sight that I use, sort of the second amount. And that's when I'm talking about which weapons I use that on. I use it mainly on assault rifles, on light machine guns, carbines, that type. I'll sometimes use it just for fun when I'm messing around with snipers with bolt action. Sometimes that's sort of fun. You know what? Maybe I'll make one of my future videos on that, using just a bolt action rifle with a Cobra sight, red dot sight of some sort. Yeah. Anyways, stay tuned. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Give me a like, comment, or subscribe if this video has been entertaining or helpful or any of that. I really appreciate it, and till next time, I'll see you guys later.